Self-compassion. Learning to be gentle with yourself. I used to think compassion was something you gave to others, that to live kindly, you had to be generous to the world, forgiving toward others, patient in all things. And while that's not wrong, I had completely forgotten someone very important in that equation, myself. Today, I want to tell you a story, not about someone heroic or extraordinary, but about someone like you, like me, someone who learned, slowly and painfully, how to be gentle with herself again. Her name was Emma, a woman who seemed perfectly fine. Emma was the kind of person everyone thought was strong. She was always punctual, emotionally composed, and responsible. She was the first to check in when someone was struggling, and whenever something went wrong, she'd smile and say, "It's okay, I've got it." And maybe that's why no one saw the cracks forming inside her. No one saw her sitting alone each night in her room, staring blankly at the ceiling, heart clenched by a quiet emptiness she didn't know how to name. Why do I feel like this? One night, after another long day of meetings, helping others, and checking off every box, Emma broke down. Not because anyone hurt her, not because of a dramatic crisis, just because something inside her had collapsed. She asked herself, "Why do I feel so weak? I have everything I should need, a job, people who care, a stable life. So why does it feel like I'm barely holding on every day?" What she didn't know at the time was that this question was not weakness. It was a whisper from within, asking to be heard. The voices inside, no one else hears, keep going. Don't be lazy. Don't mess up. Be better. Other people have it worse than you. These were the things Emma told herself every single day, like a constant background noise. She thought it was discipline, responsibility, strength. But the body doesn't lie. It began to ache. Her shoulders, her chest, her stomach. Each morning became a battle. Just to rise, breathe, function like a machine. Until one day, she couldn't keep going. Not by choice, but by sheer exhaustion. Emma took 3 weeks off from work. Her first real break in 6 years. She returned to her grandmother's old countryside home. No meetings, no emails, no deadlines. Just slow mornings, birdsong in the trees, and long evenings of silence. At first, she felt useless. Doing nothing made her feel ashamed. She cried for no reason, then scolded herself for crying. But after a few quiet days, she started hearing something else. Her own voice, her own pain, not loud but honest. A longing to be loved not for what she did, but for who she was. One morning, she made tea and wrote. For the first time in years, Emma opened a journal. Not to plan or reflect or solve anything, just to write the truth. She wrote, "I'm sorry for treating myself like a machine, for believing I only mattered when I was productive, for forgetting that I'm human and that I deserve rest, forgiveness, and softness." Her tears dropped on the page. But this time, not from burnout, but from relief. From finally touching something tender inside herself that had been waiting to be seen. From that moment on, Emma began to change. Not dramatically, not with some big cinematic realization, but gently. When she was tired, she rested. When she made mistakes, she didn't punish herself. She learned. When she was sad, she didn't force a smile. She sat. She listened. She let it pass through her. she began to talk to herself, the way she would speak to someone she loved. "You're tired, huh? That's okay. Rest now. It's all right to get it wrong. You're still learning." And then the light began to return. Emma went back to work after her break, but this time she brought with her someone new, not a better version, a truer one, no longer pushing, no longer proving, just living with a heart that knew how to be kind to itself. She didn't work to be noticed. She chose what aligned with her energy. She said no when she needed to. She stopped apologizing for taking care of her own well-being. Most importantly, she no longer felt guilty for taking a breath. Dear friend, maybe you, like Emma, have been living with the voice that says, "You need to be stronger. You should do more." Maybe you've forgotten that you too deserve to be cared for, that you are allowed to rest, to falter, to be tender. So if today feels heavy, just pause. Place your hand over your heart and say to yourself, "I am not perfect, but I am trying, and I deserve love, even in my messiest moments." Self-compassion isn't a luxury, it's a practice, a return to softness, to slowness, to truth. Thank you for listening to this story, here on Mindful Sanctuary. If this story touched something inside you, may you give yourself the permission today to slow down, to soften, and to speak to yourself with kindness. You are worthy, exactly as you are, right here, right now.